Happy New Year, guys, and I'm glad that you've entered the year with me. I know it's the 4th of February, it's a bit late, but better make late than never. So yeah, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I am Finzarelli, and this is a video on my Rhodes review and my experience as a Rhodes student. So you guys are gonna enjoy this video. So the first part of this video is mainly talking about the general stuff, like the downs and the infrastructure and the area in general. So with Rhodes, it's a very small town. It's an hour 30 minutes away from other places, depending on how fast you drive. It's a small town which has a main focus on the varsity. There's nothing major besides the varsity and like being known to have the most expensive schools in South Africa, like your St. Andrews and your Kingswood, I think, and DSG. Yeah, so the Rhodes infrastructure is pretty much mimicking the Grahamstown infrastructure. So you have beautiful scenery of like Greek type of looking buildings. They're very pretty. If you're into aesthetics, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it there. It's not modern. You're not gonna find like tall buildings. It's not a city, it's a very small town. The Rhodes infrastructure is also very intimate. It merges pretty well with the rest of the town, and there's no gates or anything like that. So pretty much it. Now moving on to the downers. When you meet a Rhodes student, the first thing they'll tell you, there's no water. Yeah, that's the first downer. There's no water in Grahamstown. There is water, but it goes on and off. You can't drink the water though. So there's no water consumption. You need to buy your own water. We buy them in 5 liters or your small bottles. I think they're like 500 milliliters. And don't worry, it's not expensive. You refill it at your Spars and your Pick and Pays, which is what we have there, and your garages, I think, for an amount of 5 rand for 5 liter, I think. Last time I checked, I'm not sure about the 500 milliliters since I didn't use it that much. There are water on and off days. I didn't experience them that much with my experience because of the areas I stayed at. So you have a day where there is water in the town and days where there aren't. But there are places where there is reserved water and Jojo tanks. I know on campus there is that, so it's provisionally. And if you're in res, I know that there are buckets, so you have that provided to you. I don't know about res. I stayed off campus, so I'm gonna give you a perspective of how I experienced Rhodes as an off-campus student. The second downer would be entertainment. The entertainment is very minimum. Like, you have groove for sure. It's South Africa. We enjoy groove, and Grahamstown is known for its alcohol consumption. There's just one street where a lot of things happen. So yeah, we have groove for sure. And we don't have a mall in Grahamstown. There's no mall. You can't go bowling. You can't go to movies. That's why you have societies. So yeah, I'll touch up on that, on how you make your own entertainment in Grahamstown. So if you're in Grahamstown or you're going to Grahamstown, you know that like entertainment, very minimum. And the third downer is the weather. The weather is always extremities. It can get up to 40 degrees hot, and at nights drop to like 11 degrees cold, and it's just like, wow, where am I? Am I in hell? The weather is crazy. And this last downer is the transportation, I guess. So you pretty much walk everywhere because we don't have a lot of cabs, and okay, we don't have a lot of Ubers, rather. We do have a lot of cabs, but they're quite expensive, and everywhere is like a walkable distance. And sure, someone would be like, you're just lazy, you don't feel like walking. No, it's not that I don't feel like walking. I don't feel like walking up a hill in 40 degree weather. So yeah. So those are the downers. Those are the first things that people will tell you about Grahamstown, because it's easier to talk about the bad stuff. But here are my experiences and the good stuff that I experienced. My first would be exploring Grahamstown. I explored it first, like mostly in my first year. I went to restaurants. I went to like these small coffee shops. I made sure like I got to experience Grahamstown. I took walks a lot because I stayed very far from the school. Plus there was COVID because I did my first day in 2020, and we were pretty much at home most of the time. So I was staying at my off-campus accommodation. Oh, quick tip: we are called the Opiden. If you're staying off campus, you will be called an Opiden. I used to take a lot of walks. I used to go on ice cream dates with my friend, and I pretty much had a really good experience. So go out, live life. Make sure that you don't just sit inside. The scenery is very nice, even though at some points I exhausted most of the places which I was like taking pictures in front of because I wanted to create content on my Instagram. Yeah, so the entertainment parts would like coincide with you going out and exploring restaurants. I genuinely enjoyed doing that. I moved a lot. Like that's one thing you are bound to do is go out. It might not be a thing, so you might go back to rest or accommodation. But I used to go out. Like groove was a thing for me, especially my last year, because that's when I was like, I'm not coming back here, so let me make the most out of it. I'm only 21 once. Well, I turned 22 in October, so yo, anyways, yeah. Apart from groove, these are the things I did to have a great time in Grahamstown. I joined societies. So joining societies was a huge up for me. I joined the Anime Society, which is the Neko Anime Society, started in 2016, and we have like these nice gatherings where they cater for you. They give you food, they give you drinks and games, and that was really nice. And now I see they implemented hoodies. We had mugs mostly, like, so when we play these games, we have like Q&As of anime. This group has the most points, they'd win the mugs. I didn't win a mug because of that, because people watch anime as if they're studying for a course. I know I am a weep, but not like that, guys. Another thing I joined was skating. I was in a skate society called Skate Ubuntu. I'm not sure if it's still running because there was COVID and it was really sad. But some of us were still in Grahamstown during COVID times. We would text each other in a group chat. There was this group chat called Smudge, and we'd be like, hey, who's down for a skating session? And I'd go lend the board and we'd be skating. So that was another thing that made me feel part of the varsity, because we had it hard. Like with COVID really took away most of our experience. So yeah, the societies were a huge plus for me. What other society did I join? There was a writing society, but I didn't participate in it that much. I don't know, like there was enough writing with my courses. Another huge plus for me was organic live events. I'm sure you guys have seen one of my videos if you have been a subscriber on my channel. I vlogged organic events, and those are Afropunk type of events, very artsy. You have a lot of people, different types of people there, and no judgments. It's just beautiful vibes. That was one of my favorite events there. I made sure not to miss like any of the events, even though I knew about it like on the second event of the year in my first year. So it was the one where we went to, I think it was Black Power Station, yeah, which was amazing. The scenery was just beautiful. But yeah, so there are events that are really good out there. Check them out, guys. So those were my pluses when it comes to entertainment. You can go out on picnics with your friends. I'm allergic to a lot of things when it comes to nature, but I do love nature. I just need to be very self-conscious with what I do around it, because I know that it's not friendly to me. Go out on picnics. There's botanical gardens, which is really, it's a huge plus. There's right next to botanical gardens, there is Old Provost, which is like an old prison turned into a cafe. sort of. There's Wi-Fi there. Yeah, so try it out. I enjoyed being there. Like, it was my favorite spot. That, and I later enjoyed Jack Bagels since it just opened last year. Yeah, they also have Wi-Fi there, so you can do your schoolwork, have your solo dates, and that was my thing. I chose myself, especially last year. I chose myself. I didn't force myself to be in situations where I'm with people who don't like me, because you will encounter that. Like, it's pretty normal. It's a trial and error in varsity. You don't need to have a lot of friends. So I somewhat learned that the hard way, because last year and the year before, it was just like a huge turmoil with friends. But I learned a lot about myself and chose to be my own friend. And that meant solo dates. And the one time I went on a lot of solo dates was genuinely when I had my birthday month. My birthday is on the 1st of October, and my birthday month was like, oh, am I gonna do this? I wanted to be home, but I was like, you know what? Let me do what I know best. So I went out alone. I went out on solo dates. So do that. Know who you are and what you like. It'll be easier for you to attract the right people in your life anyways. So, huge plus. And the last thing that I did for entertainment was join student leadership. So I was part of the OPDNCOM, which is the off-campus student body committee. And I was introduced to a lot of things. Like, I knew at that time, like, I was struggling to have a connection with other people, because I didn't want to be in a situation where I'm betrayed by friends. So I was like, let me keep myself busy, and I chose to do that with leadership. Plus, it's really good for your resume. So yeah, I joined the OPDNCOM, which was so beautiful. The O week was amazing. I never had O week in my first year because I was looking for accommodation. So if you're a first year, please don't miss out on O week. O week is such a vibe. There's games nights. There is whatchamacall. There are a lot of activities that we do in a week. I'll just put them in case I miss anything. So yeah, make sure to do that for yourself, because I truly enjoyed it. It was so amazing, and I'm very happy that I was part of an organization like that one. And working hand in hand with the SRC gets you to see how the varsity works, because it's easy to criticize the varsity if you're not part of it like that. So that was really nice. The sports, I loved going to rugby games, and I love going to soccer matches, but soccer is not like a sport, it's more of a society at Rhodes, which is weird. Anyways, our rugby team, I'll break it to you right now, like, it's not the best, but the team spirit at Rhodes is amazing. The Guijo continues, even when we're losing, like, dramatically, we'll still say we are so loyal. We're like the Khloe Kardashians when it comes to varsity support, and I am for it. Like, the Guijo is amazing, and I'll load up a clip if I have one of like our tournaments beginning of the year. Last year was the O week, which is so amazing. It was top tier. So yeah, that was it for me, was the entertainment spectrum. Being part of the varsity, especially because of events. So if you really want to have a good time, go to events, guys. You are not gonna lose anything. You're gonna meet new people if you're struggling to make friends. You're gonna feel alive. You don't want to be stuck in your room or stuck in the library 24/7. Sure, you want to get this career, but you need to be human too. So go to the students' events and have a good time. There's jumping castles most of the time. Dude, do yourself a favor and be part of the varsity. Don't try to be a cool kid, you're too grown for that. And join student leadership, because I was part of the Opidancom. I was part of the student parliaments through the Opidancom, which was such a blessing, because I was just taking the Opidancom thing because I learned a new skill, I was exploring it, and I wanted a distraction from all the things happening around me. And here I was joining the student parliament. I felt so alive. After student parliament, I was part of the IEB through the student parliament, and it's just like interlinking. So you step into one thing and it opens new doors, and it looks really good on your resume. So yeah, this is me merging all my tips right now. I didn't expect to merge all my tips at once. I had really good friends also. Make sure that you meet the right people. And don't be too judgmental. I met some people who didn't know me well, but they've heard of my name, and they had a perception of me already, and which was hard because I tried making friends with them, and I clearly didn't understand that these people already had their perception of who I was, and they were pretty much shocked when they found out that I am not the person that they thought I was. Girl, like, I do not have to live up to your image of who you thought I was. It's a plus when people leave you alone, because most of the time people are envious. You have this anguish towards you because you don't meet the standards of who they thought you were. Because most of the time people expect you to be a socialite. That's what I was experiencing. They expected me to be a socialite. They expected me to be bubbly, and I am very talkative. I am very welcoming, but I like my own space. So some people took it to offense that I stayed alone. And people are all up in your business and Gramsani. Like, it's so toxic. So be careful of that. Just don't let people run all over you. Do not allow that to happen to you. So choose yourselves, guys. Choose yourselves. You're not there for people. You're there for yourself and building character and building a career. And do that through having fun. Have fun, guys. And I did that. Like, I had fun. I thoroughly had fun. There was balance. I don't believe in astrology, but when it comes to having fun and balancing it with my hard work, because I was like, you know what, like these people are giving me drama, let me step out of their way. And I worked on myself and achieving my goals, because I had forgotten my goals because I was so fully like indulged in friendship. And as soon as I did that, I attracted the friends that I wanted around me. And shout out to my mates, bruh. Like Abontikana, Abu Kanyisa, Kakaletu. We used to sit down with Kaka and go through his poetry, and those were my favorite times because he gave me a connection with God through his writing. I felt lighter around him, especially when we meet up at art galleries, which was a huge plus because I was surrounded by people who were just like me, who were creatives. And I had a lot of photographer friends, funny enough, for a place that didn't have a huge creative space, because it is a small town like Johannesburg in comparison. It was so fun. Like, I fully enjoyed it. And if you are experiencing grad week, grad week was something I didn't know I needed in my life. It's the one thing that made me have a huge goal of getting out of there. Like, I was like, you know what, I want to get out of Rhodes knowing that I enjoyed myself. And grad week was very inspirational. So experience grad week. And by the way, your girl is a graduate. I'm a Rhodes alumni now. So during grad week, go to grad week, guys. I'll see you all there. You know my mates, I'll see you guys there. Grad week is the best. Like, the vibes are there, and you fully get inspired by people finishing and achieving the goals that they wanted. And especially knowing how hard it is, because we are humans after all. We go through it, guys. We really go through it. There's a lot of things happening outside of us being students, so you're not going to be 100% students, which is me sliding into my tips now. So my first tip is academic assistance. Seek academic assistance. Find a mentor which is outside of school. I know OPDN committee gives you mentors during the year, so look out for those. And the school has those also. Another thing you can do is talk to your tutors, because they do assist you. I had like 3 tutors, and 2 were not my official tutors. I used them to help me because I really struggled last year because I was going through a lot emotionally, but I really needed to get out of Rhodes. So I was like, you know what, let me push myself, and pushing myself was asking for assistance, and you can never go wrong with academic assistance. Speak to your lecturers. There might be something you're not understanding, and you would turn a grudge against the lecturer to something that can assist you in your writing and your understanding of the coursework. So yeah, I know that Rhodes, from my experience, is not reluctant to helping students, so do that for your mental health. And that's my second tip. There's a counseling center at Rhodes. Some people are not happy with the psychologist there, but I enjoyed my sessions with the psychologist there. It's good to have someone to speak to. Don't coop yourself up, especially if you stay off campus. It's easy to be excluding yourself and isolating. And like I said, school events. Go to school events and you will enjoy yourself. I forgot to mention theaters. Go to the theater showings, guys. They give out food, guys. Why wouldn't you want free food? Especially if you stay off campus. We struggle. Speaking of off campus, I have a huge tip of investing in an umbrella. It's very hot and it gets like super rainy, and yeah, also Grahamstown is quite hectic when it comes to the weather, so an umbrella is the biggest investment you'll ever make if you care about your skin and your well-being, essentially, because the rain will pour and you will get sick. We do not want that. And oh my god, there's a fly that got in and it's loud. Get a Vascom if you stay off campus, because the water off days, there's a time where it went away for 3 days, and I also experienced that because I hardly experienced water outages in the areas that I stayed at, but there's a time where like we go away for 3 days, to a point where even the town where you buy the water, there was no water. So invest in those bottles, get those bottles and fill them up, have them in your house, and make sure you have a Vascom so you can wash yourself nicer there, because it's not really nice to wash yourself in a basin, in my opinion. Have a planner. When you have a schedule, everything runs so smoothly, guys. Life is lighter with a planner. And when you feel organized and you know that you're organized, your mental state is in a better state. Kanchan. You get what I mean. Drinking water. Always have a water bottle. Get like a water bottle, an actual water bottle. It'll always be a reminder that you need to drink water, because in a place like Grahamstown, it's hard to remember that, yo, I need to drink water, especially on cold days. You don't get the reminder like, oh my god, I'm thirsty. So keep your water count up, keep healthy, get a vitamin box, multivitamin at Clicks, because we do have a Clicks, yeah, not this Kim, at Clicks. Get that. I got them sent from my parents. They sent me those and I was taking those, keeping my immune system up. Drink your water. That water bottle will be a huge reminder that you must drink water. When it goes down, fill it up. Go to Pick and pay that 150 or whatever it is, fill it up. And yeah, what else? I think I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. By the way, it's my first time wearing a wig, guys. It's a tubeless wig. I'm so shocked, like this is my first time wearing a wig and I like it. I don't like changes at all, I don't like doing new things to my appearance. I like my baggy clothes, I like my natural hair. I just want to stay like that. Even makeup, I'm still learning, but this is me in a wig. Who knew? The first thing I did before I shot this video, I was like, let me call my best friend, which I did, and she was like, oh my god, I did that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching my video. If you're a new subscriber, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and if you like the video, don't forget to hit me with the thumbs up.